Pronounced to all of you. Before we start, let us close our eyes for a moment. Remembering God, remembering the Masters, remembering the presence of Brahma Krishna, that is our breath. Take a look into it. Watch the flow coming in and out, trying to be connected with that. Let us try to use this special opportunity to remember more the presence of God in us and everywhere, and to feel more inspired to move forward in our path to the divinity. Mukam karuchi vachalam pangum langayate girim yatrupa tamaham vande paramanandamadavam yam brahma varunendra rudramarutaha stumbhanti dijay savaihi Vede Sangapada Kramopanishadai Yayanchiyam Samagaha Dhyanavastikata Gatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam Avidu Sura Suragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Salutations to Madhava, the Supreme Blissful One, by whose grace the mute can become eloquent and the lame can climb mountains. Salutations to that Supreme Being, to whom Brahma, Varuna, Rudra, Indra, Marutas sing divine hymns, and whose singers worship and praise him through the singing of the whole Vedas. To whom whose yogis meditate and perceive him with their minds absorbed in the meditation. And the one whose ends nor the devas nor the asuras knows. Om Tat Sat. So today we are continuing with our journey, and we are in the last chapter of the second section of the Gita. I'm not sure if all of you were present since we start, but it was mentioned that the Gita is divided in 3 sections. The first section, the first 6 chapters, is related to the introduction of the instructions of the teachings about Jiva, individual. The second session, from the 7th to 12th chapter, is related to instructions or teachings about God, Lord, Atma. And the third section, from 13th till 18th, is related to the connection, the union between Jiva and Ishwara. So we are ending today the 12th chapter, starting and ending today the 12th chapter, the last of this section. And this chapter is called Bhakti Yoga, There are some people who ask, why in the middle of knowledge, God, to know who is God, to understand the presence of God, to understand where He is, why divine love in this middle of knowledge? What happens? Love is the outcoming of knowledge. You cannot love if you don't know. For example, if I say, you have to love my grandfather, and you say, impossible, I don't know him, I cannot think of him, there is nothing. And then slowly I start to speak about him. He was like this, strong, he was tall, he was very good person, he likes to eat that, he lives in that place. Some stories about him. With this knowledge, slowly we start to develop some liking, some love. And then we get the connection. So this chapter called Divine Love or Bhakti Yoga is just the outcoming, the result of the previous 5 chapters, where Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna who he is, how to find him on the earth, on the smell, on the sun, on the moon, the strength of the strong. Then he goes further and reveals himself inside him. I am your soul, I am your breath, I am the function of your every sense organ. Then he goes on revealing he is the source of creation and dissolution. And he goes revealing, and Arjuna is listening, understanding, and practicing. And then finally he has the experience of what we have heard. And from that experience, love starts to form, to grow. So this last chapter is the outcoming of the last 5 chapters, where Arjuna got the knowledge and the experience about the Lord. It's beautiful because before he doesn't have any devotion for Lord Krishna, not any devotion, but his relationship with Lord Krishna was my friend, my brother-in-law, my chariot driver, and so on. But after the experience, it became devotion. He understood the experience is the Lord. So the relation changed now. He is a devotee and he wants to know more. And because of his willingness to keep this devotion on, to feed this devotion that he felt with experience, he asked Lord Krishna. And then we start the 12th chapter. Attha Dvaddashamodhayaha Dvaddashamo. We start the 12th chapter. And he asked, on the last 2 verses of the 11th chapter. Lord Krishna says in the verse 54 and 55, there is no other way to know me, to be united with me, than supreme devotion, single-minded devotion. Consider me as the supreme. Every activity to me, be devoted to me, and then you reach me. Then Arjuna asked, oh Lord, so how is the best way? How can I have this devotion? How can I feel you constantly? And then from this question in the beginning, what is better? To worship you or to consider you as an unmanifest, imperishable, avyakta? And then Lord Krishna starts to reply in these following 19 verses. This is one of the smallest chapters of the Gita, only 20 verses. It's full of encouragement for Arjuna to move forward and to be immersed in this divine love. It's very beautiful. And Lord Krishna here in this chapter, he gives a broader concept of devotion. Normally, we think devotion is only to sing the praise of the Lord or to have your heart full of love for Him and to be in this state of lightness, blissful. but not necessarily devotion is only this part. Maybe this is one aspect. This is maybe one result of few other actions, attitudes in life that brings real devotion. And this is why Lord Krishna gives a different concept. So in the verse 6, he says, what is devotion? And this is connection with the 54th and 55 from the last. He says, the ones who consider me as the supreme, the ones who surrender to me, the ones who worship me and meditate on me. Surrender, consider me as the supreme, worship and meditate on me. So this is devotion. And what will happen with the ones who have these qualities? Coming verse, he says, and beautiful, I will rescue them from the worldly ocean affected to death. The worldly ocean affected to death very quickly. They will be released from this worldly ocean. So, what is devotion and the consequence of to be devoted? And then he goes further. And in the next following verses, he tells Arjuna, so you should do this. But Lord Krishna, as a loving mother, and our master says that God is much, much more loving and caring than the most loving mother. So he does not give one instruction to Arjuna saying, do this and then you get. But he says, Arjuna, please, you do this. But if by chance you cannot do this, do this. If you cannot do this other option, and one more, in any other of these ways, you will reach me. I'm assuring you. Sri Ramakrishna gave one beautiful example. He says that one mother, she bought one big fish, but she knows every child has some different taste and different capacity of digesting food. So she prepares one portion of that fish, fried heavy food for the one child. The other portion, the one who is not so good in eating, little less and boiled. The other one, she makes fish soup and so on, knowing what everyone needs and likes. So the same is here with the Lord giving the instructions of how to be devoted, how to reach Lord. He gives 4 steps, but they are not one is better, one is lower, inferior or superior. All these options lead to the Lord. So the first one, he says, fix your mind on me and establish your intellect on me all the time. Be like that. That's it. Then we can think about, for example, devotees, how they live all the time immersed in Lord Krishna. They have children, they have husband, they have work, all the time only think about Krishna. This is the first what our Lord Krishna says. Then he goes further and say, but Arjuna, if you're not able to do this, you should do Abhyasa Yoga. Constantly practice. What to practice? Practice to establish your mind on me, your intellect on me. That means meditate, 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 pray. Train your mind to be established on me, your intellect. This is Abhyasa Yoga. Do it, do it, do it. You will reach also. Don't stop. But even though if you're not able, you can do every action offered to me. Work, do whatever you want, but offer to me. That means you have to slowly develop the attitude in the world of not dividing. This is spiritual, this is not spiritual. Everything is only for me. I'm doing anything I'm doing, it's for the Lord. This is the third option that Lord Krishna is giving to all of us. And the last one, he said, but even if you're not able to do every action for me as an offering, you can do one thing. Karma phala tyaga. Give up the result of the actions. Give up the fruit of the actions. Or that means be like a servant, as Guruji said. Work, but feeling it's not your work. Feeling that the result is not for you, it's for God. Do not be attached or involved with the result will bring with that action. Give up the result of the action. So he gave 4 options. And in this last one, I just remember one story. Once one disciple came to Sri Ramakrishna. You must know him, of course, Girish Ghosh. And he was willing to practice something. And he said to Ramakrishna, Master, I came here, I want to change. Please help me. And then he said, okay, meditate every day. And they say, what? Impossible. I cannot. Then Ramakrishna say, okay, you don't have to meditate, but pray. What? I cannot pray. I don't know how to pray. All right. If you cannot pray, at least remember God once in a day. And then he say, I cannot guarantee. It's almost impossible for my mental state. And then Ramakrishna said, okay. He thought a little bit, and then he says, okay, you give your life to me. You don't have to do anything different that you do nowadays. But you are giving the power of attorney to me to take care of your life. Do you agree or not? And then he thought, this master must be a little bit, okay. And then he starts to live normally. Then that sometimes Girish Ghosh would come to Ramakrishna and say, oh, today it was a very hard day. I was sad and suffered. And then he would scold him. What you are saying? It's not your life anymore. It's my life. You don't have the right to be sad. You don't have the right to enjoy anything. It's everything. It's mine now. And slowly, he got really, really attached and devoted to Sri Ramakrishna. Power of attorney. So every one of us has some different state, mental state, some way of perceiving Lord and way of living. So he's saying, no matter, everyone does not have to walk in the same path. See what best suits for you and follow me. Follow that. Go strong in that path. You reach me. Very beautiful. I keep remember some other stories. Once Narada was very proud of his devotion. And he said, maybe it's good to ask Lord Vishnu, good Lord, if there's some other higher devotee than me in the world. So he went to Vaikuntha, to the heaven, and Lord, of course, Lord knew his mind. And then he said, Lord, I just came to ask one question. Is there anyone more devoted to you than me? And Lord Vishnu just think a little bit and say, it's true. Your devotion is very, very high. But, and one but, there is one person that has more devotion than you. And then he was surprised and say, who is that? Oh, he lives in that farm. You please go and visit him. Farmer, just go and visit. So he went to the house. Farmer was working, and he waited. Then the farmer came, said, welcome him. And then the farmer said, let's sit and eat. I'm starving. So when they sit, Narada closed his eyes, waiting for some beautiful prayer. And when he listened, the farmer was already eating without praying. He said, oh. The farmer said, I'm tired, so tired, I'm going to sleep. And then Narada thought, I know, he's going to his room, and then he will meditate the whole night in secret. Then Narada just wait and keep listening the farmer's door. In no time, in less than 2 minutes, he started to listen, snoring very high. And I say, how can it be? He doesn't pray, he doesn't meditate. How can he be higher devoted than me? and that's it. It must be some time where does some practice. Then early in the morning, Narada was very attentive. The farmer gets up from the bed and just say, "Oh Lord," that's it. Came out of the bed and for work. And then Narada, before the farmer left, he asked, "I just have to ask one thing. Lord say that you are the most devoted one. How can it be?" And then the farmer became very angry and said, "You went from him. Good that you did not bring Lord here, because I would give many blows on him to make my life so hard." And then he left. And then Narada was astonished, could not understand anything, and just left again to the Lord. And then Vishnu said, "Yes, he's the most higher devotee, because I gave so much trouble to him. Work, family, everything. He doesn't have any time, but still without any time, he remembers me once. Oh Lord, that's it. You, Narada, have all the time to remember me, to love me, but how many times you forget?" So, it's for everybody to walk in this path of devotion. And then Lord Krishna, in the sequences, he gave a different concept what is devotion. Normally we think devotion means I should feel love in my heart for God. I should feel this presence. But in reality, here, he doesn't say in this way. In the next verses from 13 till the last verse 20, he speaks about what pleases him, what is dear to him, not what you should feel to feel love in your heart. So what is here for Lord Krishna? What is devotion? Doing everything to please me. Do we need to please Lord or no? He is not always content. The same, yes, but here in this case is to do every action, anything that you know that is aligned with the wishes of the Lord. Whatever he says here in this chapter, we should try to do to make him happy. And what's the outcome of making the Lord pleased or happy? Our hearts will be full of joy and devotion. So the main aspect of devotion here is try to align your life. Try to make your life harmoniously with these instructions I'm giving you, and the result will be first, I will be pleased with you. And when I'm pleased, you are pleased and the whole creation is pleased. So here, that means it's not only when we are praying or when we are with our master or when we are kneel down the temple or doing anything specifically spiritual for the Lord, but it's a full-time job devotion. In this chapter, he gives around 4 instructions, 4 items about how to please him. And these 4 items are related to 3 aspects. The first aspect is me related to God. So what I should do for God. Then that means fix your mind on me, do everything for me, consider me as supreme, and so on. But then there's 2 other aspects. The other aspect is what should I do related to myself? And this is the most biggest part of the list. Do not react, be forgetful, forgiven. You should not be too excited or not too depressed. Accept pleasure and pain. Accept success and failure. And so on. Many, many items related to myself, not only God. And the other aspect that is also very beautiful. Devotion is not only related to the Lord, it's related to myself, how I change myself, how I behave. And the last is related to the world, my behavior, my conduct to the world. Not hates, nor desires, amity to everyone, friendly. Do not create disturbance in the world and do not be disturbed by the world, and so on. 4 icons. I recommend that take a look in that and try to have this list in your life. I made here just while I'm talking to you. See, I did these 4 items because I thought it's very interesting. This is devotion, and not necessarily while you are living, you are feeling joy and love for the Lord, but you know that you are doing something that is aligned with the wishes of God, and that will bring you devotion. This is beautiful. And then he goes a little bit further, and on the 20th verse, the last one, he gives one beautiful expression, Dharmyam Mrutam. That means the immortal nectar of Dharma. Who follows this will reach me, there is no doubt. So here we can understand beautifully that Dharma is devotion. Whenever we follow Dharma, virtues, things that are right in our lives, our duties, our responsibilities, aligned with God, we are becoming devoted of Lord. It's not only showing devotion, showing that you love God, not only praying, but every single aspect of your life, that you understand what is right to do, and you do what is right, you are becoming a higher devotee, the topmost devotee. Jesus said in one part of the Bible, what is the use you keep in saying, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord, but you don't follow what I say? So here Lord Krishna is saying, you want to be really devoted to me, loved by me, follow the Dharma. Know exactly what you should do and what you should not do. Once I was in that Gonavaratri in India. There was a huge gathering of people, of more than 5,000 people. And when they start to sing some devotional songs, some mothers would come in front and dance in beautiful state of devotion. And there was one man, he was also dancing, but I thought it was a little bit strange. But it's okay. And then one day I was entering into this big tent where the events were happening. And one car, very hot, very expensive car, came in some little bit high rush, stopped in front of the entrance of the tent. In that same moment, very poor children were walking together, maybe begging there. Very poor. And from this car, the man opened the door, almost hitting the children and shouting like, get out, go. Even to something like, it would be like a stray dog. Very harsh. I was just observing. It was the same man who was dancing the day before. And then he was very harsh, almost hurting the children. He went inside, and after 2 minutes, he starts to dance again if he would be in deep devotion. Something strange. We have to make our whole life as an act of devotion to Lord. It's not only saying I love you, but align our lives with Dharma. We have likes and we have dislikes in our lives. And until we reach the realization, we will continue with this. But what is the secret here? We have to align our likes and dislikes with Dharma and Adharma. What is the purpose? We have to train our minds to like what is Dharma, what is correct, and to dislike what is Adharma, what is not good for us. Then we are going in the right direction, in the right way. It's a beautiful and much broader concept. We can be devoted all the time. Doesn't matter if you are happy and full of love and devotion, but if you know that what you are doing is correct, you are devoted. Devotion is so beautiful. Love is the connection. And also it's because of that, love is mentioned in this last part. Because it will connect for the next section. you start to feel love for God, and this is the way to feel your union with the Lord. The last section, I and He, we are one. There is one verse that it says there is one cow and a calf. One is the devotee and one is the Lord. Maybe we are maybe tend to think that cow is God. We are the cows willing to drink, love the milk. But I think it's in the Bhagavad Gita, I'm not sure. But it's the opposite. It says that Lord is the cow thirst for milk, just searching for its mother cow, we the devotees, who are full of milk of love, so he can come and drink it. So all the time he's searching for his mother, full of milk of love to drink. They say that the Lord is searching for us. When He will come, when He will turn towards me, so I can be united with Him and enjoy this love of the devotee. Very beautiful. And with this, we will conclude our 12th chapter and this section. And before we conclude, I would like just to read one thought in this book. It's called God Calling, that Guruji gave to us last year in Miami. It's some God's expressions that is very beautiful. And coincidentally, this specific thought is related to the day yesterday when I was thinking about this 12th chapter. You can please close your eyes. I will just read and we will conclude. An obstacle race. Rise above your fears and fancies into my joy. It will suffice to heal all your sores and wounds. Forget all sense of failure and shortcomings, all the painful jolts and jars, and trust me, love me, and call upon me. Your discipleship is an obstacle race. So run that you may obtain. Obtain not only your heart's desires, but obtain me, your soul's joy and heaven. What would you think of the runner who threw himself on the ground in despondency at his first hurdle? Over and on and up, I am your leader and I am your goal. Let us close our eyes. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishads Brahma Yoga Shastre Sri Krishna Arjuna Sambade Yogo Namadvadvasho Dhyaya. And here we conclude the 12th chapter, named Bhakti Yoga, the Yoga of Divine Love. While just digesting this, watching your breath, we'll sing one song, one devotional song. It's in Portuguese. It's related to that affirmation of the Lord in the 7th verse, who says that He rescue us, the devotees, from this worldly ocean. This song mentions that if the waters of the worldly ocean is making you to sink down, just hold in God's hand. He will take care of you. He will rescue you. If the sadness of this life are making you to going down, just hold God's hand and move forward. He'll take care of you. He'll rescue you. Se as águas do mar da vida quiserem te afogar, segura na mão de Deus e vai. Se as tristezas desta vida quiserem te sufocar, segura na mão de Deus e vai. Segura na mão de Deus, segura na mão de Deus, pois ela te sustentará. Não temas, segue adiante e não olhes para trás. Segura na mão de Deus e vai. Se a jornada é pesada e te cansas da caminhada, segura na mão de Deus e vai. Orando, jejuando, confiando e confessando, segura na mão de Deus e vai. Segura na mão de Deus, segura na mão de Deus, pois ela te sustentará. Não temas, segue adiante e não olhes para trás. Segura na mão de Deus e vai. Segura na mão de Deus e vai. O Lord, O Masters, let me hold your hand in every breath, in every thought, in every step of my life. Help me to transform this life in a completely offering at your feet. Help to remember you in every step, to do what is right, and to please you all the time. Please fill my heart with your presence, with your divine love. And with that, may I become your instrument also to share this love everywhere. I'm your child, trying to grow, trying to please you, oh my Divine Mother, trying to feel your protective arms all the time. We have to transform our lives in the celebration of divine love and divine joy. It's in our hands. May the blessings of God and the Masters be upon us all the time. And trying to perceive this presence in all of you, this divine love, I bow to all of you with gratitude. Om. Amen. I thank you all for this beautiful opportunity to be together and to discuss, to reflect a little bit more, and to be closer to Lord. Wishing you all a beautiful week, and we'll continue our journey in the next chapters. Jai Guru.